So the process that we're going to be focusing on today is all about reflective listening. That may not be something that we've heard before, but reflective listening is a mindfulness practice. Mindfulness is something that we talk about a lot at Mather. It's a kind of a common thread that goes through a lot of our groups. Mindfulness is the practice of being present. It's not thinking about other things that are going on. The what ifs, the to-dos, the past, the future, worries and stress. It's kind of tuning that out and focusing on being fully immersed in what's happening right now. And so what we're going to be doing today is very much a mindfulness practice. Reflective listening is all about kind of, like I said, tuning out all those other things that are happening and really focusing in on what we're hearing. So what we're going to be doing today is listening to a few different sounds and having a moment of like a creative response with it. And here's the process I want us to kind of follow along with. We're going to listen to each of these sounds twice. The first time, I want to really encourage you to listen, to kind of set aside everything else that's going on. And I know that's hard. And I'm not saying we need to forget about it or ignore it, but just kind of set it aside for right now and really pay attention to the sound, being immersed in this sound. It's not a long sound, it's really short. But like I said, I want to encourage you to really think about that sound, really listen. And as you're listening to that sound, I want to encourage you to think about it. What comes to mind when you immerse yourself in this sound? Whether it's a visual, a place, whether it's one word, whether it's a run-on sentence, whatever pops into your mind is good. There's nothing wrong. Whatever pops in your mind is good. Then we're going to listen to this again, the sound again. And the second time we listen to it, I want to encourage you to actually have a stream of consciousness response. And I know that can kind of sound a little weird, stream of consciousness, but all that is whatever pops in your head, put it down on paper. Right? And as I said earlier, it can be a visual, it can be a drawing, it can be words, whatever word pops in your head, sentence pops in your head, putting it down. It can be a poem, it can be a color, it can be a shape or a mark. Whatever it is, go ahead and spend that time putting it down. It's not going to be long. It's just short moments that we're going to kind of go through together, and I'll walk us through it each time. The supplies that we need for today are going to be our journal or a piece of paper, and then something to write with. And it can be a pen or pencil. You're also welcome to bring in color too. So I have the supplies I have with me today. Journal that I'm starting with. I have some color pens and some color markers. But again, whatever supply you bring in is going to be good. All right. So let's take a moment right now before we listen to this first sound. And I want to encourage you to just kind of relax in your space. Just kind of get comfortable in your chair, wherever you are. And as we listen to this first sound, I want to encourage you to either close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or look out in the distance, kind of lower your gaze in the distance if that feels better. But just kind of get comfortable in your space. So as we were listening to this sound, Was there an image and you don't have to answer, no one has to answer, just kind of think about whatever popped into your mind as you were listening to this. Again, whether it was a visual, a person, a memory, maybe an association, whatever came up is good, right? Is okay. And I want to encourage us as we listen to this sound again, to write down or to draw or to make marks, to kind of express what was in our mind, right, as we heard it. You'll be able to see what I'm doing, so you can follow along with me and do what I'm doing if you like, or just kind of strike out on your own and do whatever came into your mind. Either way is good. If you're still working on your response, that's okay, that's good. But I want to just check in for a moment. I know this was our first one, so it could feel a little a little awkward doing this. But I want to ask, what are some of the things that did pop into your head as you were listening to this sound? I will say for me, it was a memory that came up. I was thinking about sitting on the porch with my dad, just listening to the birds. That's something we do when I go visit. So it was kind of it made my heart happy to think about those birds. And we're going to do this again. We're going to have listen to another sound. And again, I want us to just kind of let ourselves just kind of be in that moment. And again, just kind of tuning out all those other things around us and really listen to that sound that we're about to play. And just like last time, we're going to listen to it twice. So that first time, I'm going to encourage you to really, really listen and think about what comes up, what comes to your mind as you're listening to this sound. And then when we play it again, we'll do our creative response. So, whatever image, whatever memory or association, whatever feeling that came to you while we were listening to the first time, we're going to listen to it again. And just like last time, I'm going to encourage you to have that creative response. And remember, it's just a stream of consciousness. So, there's no wrong way to do this. Whatever pops in your mind is good. And however that's expressed on our paper is good, whether it's writing down a thought, a word, drawing an image, or just putting color down, any way is good. So as we listen to it again, I would encourage you to start that stream of consciousness response. So for this one, I just want to ask you, and again, no pressure to share, what came up for you while you were listening to this sound? And again, there's no wrong answer. And let's do another sound. And just like we did last time, just take a moment to kind of this first time, just listen to it and let whatever comes up, whatever memory, association, color, thought, just come up while we're listening, and just kind of tune out those things that are happening around us and be fully present in listening to this sound. So this one is a little different from the other sounds that we heard. So whatever came up for you, again, is good, is okay. There's no wrong association or memory, feeling. It's all good. So I want us to, as we listen to it this second time, let's do our creative response. And again, it can be whatever. It's all stream of consciousness. So whether it's a word or phrase, whether it's an image, a drawing, a color, or even just a shape, either any of them are good. All right. So for this sound, like I said, this one was a little different from the two we just listened to. But what were some of the things that came up for this sound? Let's listen to our next sound. And again, just the same thing. Listen to it, kind of tune out what's around us and really kind of focus in on the sound and let whatever comes up come up, whether it's a feeling or a color, an image, a memory, whatever that is, just kind of think about what this sound reminds you of. So this sound kind of reminds me of one of the earlier sounds that we listened to. But again, whatever it was that came up for you, let's spend our next few moments putting that down on paper. And again, it can be absolutely anything. If it's a word, a poem, an image, or a mark, shape, whatever it is, let's listen to this sound again and then kind of express that on our paper. All right. Well, let's do one more together if that's okay. And again, let's just kind of listen to that and really kind of focus in on the sound we're hearing. So as we were listening to this sound, whatever image popped into your mind, whatever word or feeling or memory, any association, whatever it was, let's hang on to that. And as we do our creative response now, go ahead and put that on the paper. And again, whatever that looks like, whether it's a word or a drawing or just a shape, whatever that looks like is good. Something about this sound. What came to your mind when you were listening to this one? I know this one was a little different from the other sounds that we were hearing. But what were some of the things that came up while we were listening to this one?